So my woman's taking this course called Hypno Birthing. Have you heard of it? Basically, and I'm not saying that this is it verbatim, but basically hypnobirthing is kind of like getting you prepared for birth. A lot of it is about having the right mindset, and she's taking this course, but I'm also watching the videos with her, right? And a woman said giving birth is supposed to feel good. A lot of the messaging that I'm receiving from this course is about how fucked up the narrative is regarding giving birth.
Wow.
And that made me think about how we've been conditioned by the images and the visuals that pregnancy is the most painful thing. Now, I'm not saying that it's not, but what I am saying is that there is a way of thinking that they plant in us that has us looking at pregnancy or giving birth in a certain way.
Yeah, and then that leads into parenthood, or being a parent.
So
Pay that rent.
So when I'm watching this stuff, it's letting me know about the mindset that they have us in, or the mindset that they have women in leading up to giving birth, and how fucked up and negative it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
I have never, and what you kind of understand is when you speak to women about giving birth, you rarely hear women say it was the most beautiful experience that I've ever had.
Mm.
A lot of it is about the trauma and the pain. And obviously that plays a part, but I never hear about the mindset leading up to pregnancy. I never hear about what they're being taught. So I'm going to these sessions and I'm hearing the midwife speak. When I'm hearing the midwife speak, obviously she's laying it out. Not negatively, she's just like laying it out.
Mm.
But there's not one time that she's talking about it necessarily in the way that the hypnobirth teachers are.
Mm.
The hypnobirth teachers,
or
the hypnobirth teacher is talking about it in the most beautiful way. I've never heard it.
Yeah.
So when we do see what it ends up being in the end for these women that are having these traumatic experiences through pregnancy, I'm like, you fuckers, you motherfuckers, you lot are fucking ruining the most, and we know it's the most beautiful experience because she's bringing in life.
Yeah, you're a creator.
You're a creator. That is when you're God.
Yeah,
that confirms that you are God, because you are bringing life into this world. It's through you that this is happening.
Which then shows you your relationship with, again, goes back to the spirit, innit? Like, how much are you tapped into your divine, whether you call it God, but if you had the relationship, you would understand this is a transmutation of uncomfortability,
and it goes back. It goes back to most things. Are you not even giving us the context that we need so we can actually experience this thing in a way that benefits us? The fact that she said that giving birth is supposed to feel good. I'm like,
but then so then it makes me think about the nuances of what I've listened and observed around black women's experience of having a child, because the medical system will label them as stronger. But if we're used to a way of having birth, way of giving life. And it's been like, because when I listen to some of the traditional kind of tribes and stuff, they just give birth in the bush, nothing. Like, there ain't the qualms that they have in the Western side. So I'm just wondering if that plays a part in that whole kind of like, black women are stronger because it's not meant to hurt, so that we don't, and then black women say, well, we're not getting the support we need because you're assuming that we're stronger, but actually it's not that, it's the fact that the programming has been different. That's flipping deep, bro.
The mindset, bro. Like, when I'm listening to this woman, I'm like, fucking hell, I've never heard this.
I've not even thought about
obviously, it connects so much because I'm like,
it makes sense.
I know what they keep showing us. They keep showing us that this is the most pain. They show us, like, what I've gotten from it is that it's the most painful experience ever in life, and I'm glad that I don't have to experience that.
And it goes the same with periods. Because who was I watching? The Hidden Science Academy. They're saying, well, periods are not meant to be painful, and they're not. But because of the lifestyles we live and what we're putting in our body, and
they don't speak about that shit.
And I was like, shit. So, but obviously, because I'm not a woman, I don't know that experience. I don't know how to really understand. Like, Do you know what I mean? But when you hear most women that I hear are like, it's very painful, but then I've seen this. She's like, I haven't had pain for 60 years or whatever.
Bro.
She's like, what you eat, you have to be mindful what you eat. You have to know what your blood type and but they're not meant to be painful.
But now listen, you
like,
see, even in all of that knowledge, right? What about the perspective and the mindset that you should have when you're going into it?
Yeah.
What about the fucking practices?
Like, my body is getting rid of cleansing.
Every
28.
Perspective. Yeah. What is the narrative on it? Because obviously, even with us as men, it's like, period, right?
Yeah.
But if this thing is helping them, this is a beautiful process.
Yeah. Your body is showing you a live 28-day cleanse.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful.
Come on. So
naturally,
it's how you see it, and it's not to say it once again. Like, it's not to say that like
it's important.
These
it's
things
so important, bro.
It's not to say that these things like don't go left and certain things have to happen. But then it's like, well, we are still looking at the environment. This woman said when an animal goes to give birth, right, they find a private place, it's dark and stuff, to give birth and stuff. I'm not sure exactly if that's true, but when you give birth, you go, it's private. In the fucking hospital, you got all these spotlights and all these people looking at you like you're a fucking lab rat, and you go and give birth like that. But how are you supposed to be? Is that a safe space? I'm talking about a safe space. Is that a natural space for you to be giving birth? That's probably one of the most vulnerable states that you'll find yourself in, giving birth. But then you're all out there and the lights are all over you and these ain't really telling you what you should know. Bro, it's madness. That's traumatic within itself. But I go back once again to the fucking mindset.
Yeah. The
mindset. And I've heard midwives speak, and they never really speak negatively. But they don't consciously make an effort to speak positively, like positive affirmations. It's fucking Hypno Birthing things about positive affirmations.
But
this kind of
it
stuff.
makes sense because, like, for instance, a lot of the stuff that I do when I go into schools and stuff like that and communities is literally about that, the intention. Because what the hypno stuff is probably talking about is about, are you intentional with how you're bringing this life into this world? Because if you're going to start with, I'm creating a beautiful child, you're likely to going to speak to the child, hello my beautiful child, because you're not seeing the child as a burden, you've seen the child as a creation of your vessel and a chance to impart that energy that's come. So if your energy is like this beautiful child and you're both, whereas what we find is that there is like a a battle between mother and father, and the father needs to understand that the woman's holding his child, kind of thing, and then there's like a battle of power, rather than this is a chance for us to truly come together, to unify, because we've both created this beautiful child.
Come on, bro.
That's deep.
How you're thinking is in such a light and positive way. That's gonna affect your body in a certain way. Like, we all know how we feel if we're angry and the effect it has on us. We all know how we feel when we're happy and how that affects us positively, how it affects us. So how's that affecting your baby when you're positive?
Mad, yeah.
So I'm just saying, once again, it highlights the fact that these lot are trying to fucking destroy us consciously. These are trying to crush us.